Hush puppies are the American version of fritters. Now, hush puppies are a combination of self-raising flour and cornmeal or instant polenta. And polenta, which is corn, goes so nicely with prawn. So these are going to be prawn hush puppies. Really easy measurements to remember: 3/4 of a cup of instant polenta, along with 3/4 cup of self-raising flour. Now the self-raising flour is going to help puff up these fritters and make them really nice and tender. And to make them extra light, I like the addition of 1/2 teaspoon of bicarb. All right, some sweetness to bring out the sweetness of the cornmeal or the polenta, some sugar and a pinch of salt. So a generous pinch. Then just with a fork, give that a mix so everything's combined nicely. And then for the wet ingredients, we need some buttermilk. American cooking, they love to use buttermilk because it works so well. Also 1 egg, and we'll crack that into our buttermilk. And then just with the fork, we'll just give that a whisk to combine the egg and the buttermilk together. And then make a little well in the centre, and then pour that buttermilk and slowly and gradually bring in the sides. It's okay if there's a few lumps. What we're looking for is a batter that's a little thicker than pancake batter. You want it to be a little bit thicker because it needs to stick with the prawns. So I always say have 1.5 cups of buttermilk on standby, and depending on your flour, depending on your polenta, you may need a little bit more or a little bit less. So I'm going to show you what we're looking for. At this stage, it's just a little bit too thick, so I'll add some more buttermilk and then keep stirring. And then that's what I'm looking for. That's the perfect consistency. Okay, that batter is done. Now I need to get some chopping done. So 500 grams of prawns, some raw prawns. I've deveined them. I'll chop up these quite finely, then I'll add them to our mixture along with 3 spring onions. All right, I've just finished chopping the spring onions, so now we can add all of this to our batter, and we'll just scoop it in there. I love corn and prawns. I think they both work hand in hand because they're both sweet. Now we need a little bit of lemon zest for this, so I'll just finely grate in about half of this lemon, and I'll use the rest as a garnish. Perfect. And now I'm just going to fold this in very gently. And you can see how that batter is sticking to our prawns. This is just so delicious. And by all means, you can change up the mixture. You can just add the spring onions if you like. You can add different spices. You can even add fresh bits of corn to this. I've also done them with cheese, which is absolutely delicious too. All right, now let's start frying. Now I've preheated some oil in a wok, and then just using a spoon, make small mounds, and if it's a little bit sticky, get another spoon and just carefully lower the batter into the oil. Now when you make these fritters, they will expand a little bit, so don't overcrowd the oil. Just do about 4 or 5 per batch. Then I'll drain them on some paper towel. Okay, these hush puppies are looking fantastic. See how they've puffed up nicely, and they smell delicious. Now just turn the oil off, just let them cool down a little bit. And I like to serve this with a really nice creamy mayonnaise with the addition of some paprika. So a spoonful of mayonnaise into another bowl, and a pinch of paprika. And this mayonnaise is salty enough, so I won't add extra salt, but I will add a nice amount of fresh lemon juice. Just because it's deep fried, you really do want that acid to cut through the richness of it. So we'll squeeze that into the mayonnaise and then give it a mix. All right, now I'm going to just serve a generous dollop of that mayo on the plate. A little bit more. Perfect. And then we'll just pile up these gorgeous hush puppies just on the side. This is really great entertaining food when you've got friends coming over. A little starter with a glass of wine, absolutely delightful. And then I like to serve a lemon half on the side for the garnish, but also if your guests want a little bit of extra zing, I'm going to break into one of these because they just look so good. Look how tender and soft they are inside. The prawn's cooked, you can see it's gone white. I'm going to dip that in some mayonnaise. Tell you what, they are super delicious. It's really tender in the center, not too dry, and it's that excitement of biting in, and then there's a pop of prawn. Absolutely fantastic. Hush Puppy, very strange name. I'll tell you what, it's worth it though. Super delicious.